Welcome to Daily News Updates by the Shipping Tribune. Here we bring to you the latest maritime daily news in a short form video format. Please subscribe for regular updates. Freight market scenario by Saigal Seatrade.
The Asia-Pacific Supramax market freight rates were mixed on April 15 as the Pacific region saw a standoff between shipowners and charterers. The Asia-Pacific Panamax market freight rates softened on April 15 as participants reported thin trading and a lack of fresh cargo replenishment in the Pacific Basin, particularly for prompt loading dates.
India and US just took the first big step towards a $500 billion trade goal. India and the United States have finalized the terms of reference for the initial phase of a bilateral trade agreement, Reuters reported, citing an Indian trade official. The two nations had earlier agreed in February to collaborate on the first stage of the trade pact, aiming to finalize it by the end of the year. The broader goal is to boost bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030. The move comes amid recent trade tensions between the two countries, particularly the imposition of 26% reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods by the US earlier this month. However, the US president has announced a 90-day pause on tariff hikes for major trading nations, including India. Cargo traffic on national waterways hits record high of 145.5 million tons in FY 2024-25. The Inland Waterways Authority of India, under the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, reached a significant milestone in cargo movement on national waterways. For the fiscal year 2024-25, the Inland Waterways Authority of India has successfully achieved record-breaking 145.5 million tons of cargo movement, marking an all-time high in the inland waterways sector. Along with this, the total number of operational waterways has gone up from 24 to 29 during this year. Cargo traffic on national waterways has increased from 18.1 million metric tons to 145.5 million metric tons between FY14 and FY25, recording a CAGR of 20.86%. Nearly 30% of India's export to US to face over 15% tariff. Nearly $19 billion or 30% of exports from India to the US, which is open to tariffs after discounting for exemptions, will face 15% or more in duties while entering American shores, according to a money control analysis. On April 9th, the US president paused country-wise reciprocal tariffs, levying a flat 10% duty on imports from all nations. This implies that just over a tenth of Indian goods exported to the US faced more than 10% tariff rate in 2024, according to the analysis. Of the 3,451 categories imported by India to the US worth $4.7 billion faced over 10% tariff from the US. India's goods trade deficit widens to $21.54 billion in March. Trade surplus against US rises to $41.18 billion. India's trade surplus with the US jumped 16.6% in the just ended financial year, ballooning to $41.18 billion in FY25 from $35.32 billion in the previous year, even as the US president prepared to hike US tariffs in protest. According to Commerce Ministry data released on Tuesday, Indian goods exports to the US in the last financial year increased by 11.6% from $77.52 billion in FY24 to $86.51 billion in FY25. To be sure, imports from the US also rose, but by a smaller margin of 7.42%, going up from $42.2 billion to $45.33 billion during the fiscal year that ended on 31st March. Thank you for watching the video. Please hit the like button if you like the video, leave a comment down below and subscribe to the Shipping Tribune YouTube channel if you haven't already.